It's Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville. So this is the third main entry in the Plants vs. Zombies sort of shooter franchise. I say it's a bit of a, getting kids ready to play Battlefield when they're older. And it's really awesome. So this is Xbox One X Enhanced. We're getting a 4K resolution with HDR support. And I've been told that other smaller tweaks are done to the visual style for the enhancement to make it look a little bit better. And I actually got this directly from my EA contact on this one. So what we're getting here is the biggest and I'd say best entry in the franchise yet. So this is a multiplayer focused game, but they've actually done a lot in this one to really expand that concept further. So you can go to the Reward-a-tron and you can get some cool gear from it, or there's little prizes. It's sort of like a battle pass, to be honest, as you go through like this tree of like prizes that you can win. So it's kind of a cool, well, it's not win, you spend the gems that you earn while playing to get them. But what's neat in this one is, aside from the multiplayer, which we're going to jump into, there's actually two little areas that you can go to. Well, they're not little, they're actually really big map sections. So you can go to Sundrop Hills, or you can go to Mount Steep, and they have quests and they have missions. I wasn't really too into this kind of thing because I play this for the multiplayer. But yeah, they're kind of neat little extras that you can go do. You have to defend things, you have to go take positions, you gotta do like quests. It's a really neat sort of option to play to the side, from the other content. So we go to the multiplayer portal. I should mention though, there's a whole city area out there that we kind of looked over. You can go and do little PvP battles against other people. You can go and switch over to the zombie side at any point, and that's like a whole other area you can play in over there. And you go down to the middle and you battle the plants and stuff. Really cool. A lot of stuff going on. This is like a multiplayer hub. It kind of goes to like more of a private thing if you haven't been playing a while. So we've got random ops. There's a few main modes that make this up. So we have the battle arena. This is 4v4 action. There's turf takeover, which is the primary mode that I play. This is 24-player PvP, where you do a certain series of objective-based maps. There's team Vanquish, which is 8v8, so that's like your team deathmatch style thing. Then we have garden ops. So this is a cooperative experience where you work together as a team and you fight off waves of enemies that are coming at you. So that's combined into that playlist. You just kind of jump in, drop out. Where you can, I guess you go as a squad too. And then we have mixed modes. So this is 8v8. You get a variety of things: no bombs, suburbanation, and vanquish. So we're going to jump into turf takeover because that's just the primary thing that I like to play, and it'll give us a good kind of viewing of what exactly the game does provide in terms of content. So we're going to jump in here into the first match. I want to say that this generation, we've seen a lot of games kind of come in, lots of sequels go on. And this is one of my favorite new franchises that started. I know it's based on Plants vs. Zombies, but it really is its own sort of thing. And it really is just an absolutely lovely time. So you can play this with split screen co-op if you want to, and you can go play online with them. So that's a really nice option too. And generally, this is the biggest take yet. We get an expansive area that truly, like the levels and the hubs. So the hubs are massive. Like really, quite honestly, the kind of areas I was showing off there, that's just one of them. There's the multiple hubs, the different areas you go to that I was mentioning for the stories. Those are big. You get to play around in that. And then the levels are also really large in scale. There's a lot of complexities to them. And it just basically takes the concepts that have been growing over the last, this is the third entry in this. This would be Garden Warfare 3, but it's got a different name to it. And it just really expands the concept further. And I think they've done a really splendid job in this one in regards to, taking the concepts of the past titles and just making it bigger than ever before. And I really love that about this. So this franchise really is something that I've spent an extended amount of time playing. It came out early in the generation, the first game, and there weren't really many games to play, and I think I've played honestly way too many hours of this. I think I was missing like 2 achievements from the first game. So yeah, I really couldn't even count the amount of hours that I spent playing the first game. I didn't play as much of the second one because I was busy reviewing stuff, and I didn't get that one to review like this. Wow, I'm just screwed because I'm completely stuck in that path, but it's just a really great franchise that is super appropriate for all audiences. I've played this with a lot of different people from different age groups, And it's a lot of fun because, like I've been saying, you get that sort of almost single-player local content that you can work through. Mission-wise, I don't care for it. I mean, I checked it out for the review, but you know, that's an area of the game that kind of expands what you're able to do in it. Then there's the classic multiplayer, you know, that we're playing now. That really is just a lot of fun. It's well balanced. There's tons of different modes. Like we've got this one where we're capturing positions. There's one where you're pushing an objective, and then you've got like your team vanquishing, and then you got your other stuff. You know, there's just a lot to it. And then moving past that, we also got the garden ops. So you got your cooperative horde-based experience, which is a lot of fun to play again. You know, you plant your plants, or you know, you get your zombie bros, and you just kind of defend the area. So yeah, you get a lot of different modes and objectives in this one. Like I was saying, you're either capturing the position, pushing a payload forward, or you're capturing certain spots in order to move them, or you're blowing things up like a giant drill. There's just a lot to it and a lot of variety as you switch sides. You're either playing on, like, you know, the plants or the zombies, and you're either defending or attacking. So there really is just like a variety of what you can experience while you're playing this. Ooh, I need to get out of here. And then the actual, you know, modes, they just a lot to experience, whether or not you want something that is more cooperative in nature, more perhaps single player focused, or if you just want to play multiplayer and compete in various modes. You know, it offers quite a lot for any type of player, at least in my opinion. So focusing on the multiplayer, which is the heart of this experience, you know, this action here, you get to play as a variety of characters, little friendly plants, sort of grotesque, funky, funny zombies. And within them, they each have like a multiple selection of classes that you play as. I usually play as the pea shooter because I find that one to be a very effective sort of option out there. But you could be all kinds of different things, and they all fit a certain niche within the actual game. So you might be oh, I was going to switch characters. I'll do that in the next one. You might be a sunflower, and a sunflower is a healer once he vanishes. Or you might be, you know, something that provides a giant shield. I can't remember what they're called. They're like the peel guys, the big orange ones, if you know what I mean. And then you also get to send out your little troops, too, from the little spots that are available on the map. I'm sure you've seen that a little bit previously. Having a little bit of recording issues with the DVR, so it's going to be a little bit, you know, patchy to some degree. But yeah, just like a lot of options. And then those classes all have like certain skills within them, so you can edit. Well, I mean they've got their perk abilities, so you can see like can you shoot like a cannon, and I can do like a bit of a hover, and I can shoot the pepper thing for a big explosion. They have those abilities, but then there's also like these skills you choose from, and you get like a certain amount of skills that you're allowed access to for the characters. And with those, you can kind of like heal faster, you might regenerate faster. You know, just different sort of layerings to the complexity of the game. And then you can decorate your characters too with the items that you unlock in game from the Prizatron, and then you can be like maybe a majestic sort of robotic cactus, or you know, you get funky hairdos, and you know, lots of customization that's available in this one. I do find maybe the customization is, well, in the past ones you get cards. It's very fair in this. Like you earn enough coins to constantly be getting new things to be wearing out there on the battlefield. Like I've got like a genie in the lamp sort of thing for my cactus guy. And that's another thing I want to say is the attention to detail within the characters. It's a much more mature look in this game. Not in like too adult of a way, I'm saying, but just like the way the style of the various creatures, you know, there's a lot of depth and sort of like realism almost, while still being on the edge of cartoony. So in the first game, it was very much like a cartoon art style, and then the second one, it was a little bit more, but this one I think they've really captured a sort of like natural aesthetic to the characters while still being a little cartoonish and fun. And I think that's a nice sort of change up for the game, just to continue to push the visuals, because then it's not just like the same thing. So it's very much, you know, the series that you're sort of used to when it comes to gameplay and what modes are present. But they've done a wonderful job of expanding that concept further and doing some really interesting and unique sort of things with it that I'm really excited about, and I've really been enjoying. It's just an absolute ton of fun to play this game. And I mean, just like, look at what's going on here. The action, the particle effects, all the battle stuff. It's kind of interesting. Like, I mean, there's not really many games out there like this. Oh, jeez. You know, that do have such a varied roster, such a refined style of gameplay that has continued to work well for it. I mean, if the basic formula isn't broke, you know, you don't need to fix it. And you can prestige your characters too, so every character can have certain levels of prestige to them. There's like 10 levels at a time, and then you get a new like roster level and stuff. So it does give you a sense of progression as well when you're playing. But for the most part, it's just a really fun game to play. I really do enjoy this one. It's frantic action. There's a great selection of maps present, many characters available, and it is something that I think any type of audience can come in here and play this and have a good time with it. And, you know, feel good about what you're doing out here in regards to like playing the objective, working together, sneaking around if that's your sort of thing, because the maps really do offer a good variety of locations that you can actually use as like flanking routes. So here's the zombie side. As you see, another variety of characters. I personally find the plants more fun, but the zombies have got some funky looking stuff going on. And it's kind of, you know, the same sort of situation here. You get like a zombie that sort of counteracts a plant in terms of options. But again, like, look at the beautiful worlds and environments and the grotesque but yet funky, funny little zombies. And they're very comedic in their style. They're not scary or anything like that. They're cool zombies. I will note that occasionally you notice little bits of like pop in as like the visuals load up. You're seeing that right now, hopefully, but it's really not a big deal, and it doesn't impact gameplay in the slightest. And you only see it really at the beginning of like these kinds of maps when you're first loading in. And again, apologies for any like awkward sort of cuts video-wise. It is just the DVR systems acting up in this particular title. But I think this really is a worthwhile game to play. It's a lot of fun. If you're looking at this for kids, I really highly suggest it. It's way better than a lot of the other sort of shooters out there because, you know, it truly is sort of non-violent. It's just kind of like a funny little thing. The little sunflower there. Whoop! Now you go up in the air. And it does have a little bit of heart to it. There's a lot of humor with the characters, just in regards to kind of their animations, how they act, the storyline. It's very silly, which is good because I mean that's really what the type of audience this is for. But I also myself just absolutely adore this take on the franchise. Have too much of an interest with the sort of main Plants vs Zombies where you're like defending gardens with like lawnmowers and stuff or whatever, but this series I really do like what they've done with it. It's a lot of fun, a lot of care into the visuals and the style of it, and it's just like a very unique game that they've continued to expand and do new things with. It's not anything too radically different with this entry. I mean, you're gonna feel very, you know, sort of similar to what the second one had, and of course the first one being a bit more bare bones, but at the time, you know, it was quite complex in terms of having the content, and they've just been building out further, and they've got really, again, cool looking maps, cool settings, interesting roster of characters that they've expanded upon further than ever before. You get like the single player options that you can kind of, I believe you can play like cooperatively too. I just kind of played them by myself though. But they're like more local things. You're not matchmaking for them. That's what I'm trying to get across. And it's just really well done. Plays well, handles well. It's visually appealing. I keep talking about the visuals, but I do kind of gush over just like the look of the various characters. And like, you know, like the pea shooter particularly is like really cool. I don't really know what I want to. I'll do the scientist guy. I think he's got like a bit of a shotgun kind of thing going on, and he does some like cool abilities. He's a bit of a healer for the class, but well, for the zombies. Again, I favor the plants a lot more, but I don't mind being the zombies. The little bazooka thing that the other guy has is a lot of fun. I get like a teleporting thing going on. Yeah. So that's just kind of, I'm just trying to show off a little bit of the different classes too, so you get an idea of what is out there option-wise. Jeez, got that guy. And then it is all about like working together as a team because you're going to be more effective. The matches don't take too long to play through. I think they've done a pretty good job of balancing out, you know, match lengths and stuff like that. You know, so you're constantly seeing new areas, exploring new things, and I think that's kind of a lot of fun. Oh, down you go, Sunflower. Oh, I feel so bad because the Sunflowers are like the friendliest, dopiest little things, and they're just like prancing around having a good time. They're just adorable. And my favorite one was like in the first game I had a Sunflower with the Sorcerer's hat, and I thought it was just absolutely charming and completely majestic in every way. It really was a lot of, like, I have a lot of fun playing these games. I really do. Stopping the payload, but you can see it's like these are distinct and yet very large and absolutely lovely environments. The visuals, the lighting, the details in them are really good, and they all offer like little fun situations. Like they don't really restrict you. There are many little spots that you can sort of go off into to find like a neat spot so that you get like a tactical advantage, a little bit of verticality upon, you know, any sort of enemies that are coming after you or that you have to deal with. We're just rocking the main zombie. The other ones are just not familiar enough with those ones. Just because I lean into the plants so hard. But yeah, if you're thinking about it, it's definitely worth checking out. You know, it's just really expanded upon the concept of the other ones. Those are also really good games. But I'm assuming the first one isn't going to be as populated because it is so strictly, you know, multiplayer focused. And I didn't really play enough of the second one to have too much of an opinion of that one. They did do some nice advances from what I had played when I was checking that one out. But this is going to be the one to check going forward because, you know, it is the latest and greatest sort of release in it. Great roster of, you know, not only characters, but maps and modes to play and things to experience within the game. Damn you, Sunflowers! But, yeah, definitely worthwhile, definitely worth checking out. It's something that's different. If you've never heard of this franchise before, it is so uniquely weird and, you know, crazy. I don't know how else you describe it. It is one of the funkiest games out there, and they do so many unique things with the concept of it that, I don't know, it's a good primer for Battlefield 2 for when they're older. It's like a Battlefield for kids is what we always said this was. Not too bad that guy died. And I think it still kind of holds true to that, just being like an EA title and everything. Great primer. You know, just saying. But moving past that, it's charming. There's a lot of care spent in this world. It's a lot of fun. I always think that these are worthwhile games, and while I didn't really get to play the second one, I'm really looking forward to spending, you know, a lot more time with this one, just because I actually did get access to it. So that's exciting. When I saw it pop in, I was like very excited. You know, in the email box, I was like, yes! Just because I did pack so many hours into that first one, and it's still such an enjoyable series for me to play. You know, so many like funky little things going on in it. Crazy situations. Is that guy wearing like a chicken thing? That's fun. I think I almost got this guy. I'm gonna die though. God, just got him. Oh, and it looks like he got me too. That sucks. But I was doing pretty good on that one. So yeah, generally to kind of wrap things up, a lot of content, a lot of maps, good paced matches, lots of dynamics to the environments, lots of worlds, lots of distinct worlds. You're always doing something different. As you see payload here, sometimes you're capturing a post, sometimes you're blowing something up. They've all got stages in this particular playlist. Other ones, you know, you're just doing like deathmatch, or you're working together as a cooperative team in order to protect objectives. You know, just a lot of variety in what you can do in this one, and that constantly keeps things fresh. And they've been pretty good for the other titles to be supportive post-launch in regards to adding new things to experience. And I think at the beginning area there you saw like a bit of a Halloween type thing that I believe is going on that I didn't notice the other day because just went to record this today. But yeah, so definitely suggest checking this one out. I think there's something, a little bit of something for everyone, whether or not you want to be like a cooperative fan, you do the garden ops or the graveyard ops. If you like the multiplayer, which I do believe really is the core of this, what we're playing now, there's a lot of different ways to play that and experience it. If you want to have something a little bit more single player, a little bit more locally, you do get the missions that do offer. It seems like quite a fair bit of gameplay, just kind of rolling through some of the missions and stuff there. Definitely something a little bit different, but on brand and humor with the regular sort of Plants vs. Zombies, garden warfare type franchise. And it's weird they changed the name a little, but I think, that kind of shines through what exactly this is, so there shouldn't be any issues in understanding exactly what you're going to be getting with this particular title. So yeah, Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville. Hope to see you out there on the battlefield.